Hey guys, Rock here with another World of Warplanes video. This time we'll be discussing some of the ground aspects of the Hawker Hurricane 2D. This is an expansion or a continuation of the previous Hurricane 2D guide video I did a little while back. A lot of people say if this is a crummy fighter and it was originally classed as a ground attack and was an anti-tank plane, shouldn't it be a GA plane? But I don't think so. It's still a fighter airframe and it still gets shredded by AA just like a fighter. And there's no way to make it take AA in 1.5.1 like an IL without adding just a ton of hit points or getting otherwise just stupidly historically inaccurate. The cannons are also not especially good at ground attack. They're inaccurate, they're short range, they overheat fast, and they're classified as moderately effective against armored targets in the game. And you might say, like, well, the IL-2 only has a 37mm at Tier 5, shouldn't this be better? Well, the cannons on the IL weigh twice as much and develop about twice the muzzle velocity, about 900 meters a second versus 570 on the Hurricane 2D, so it has considerably more penetration ability. At 300 kilometers an hour, the 520 meter effective range in a faster plane means you only get a 6.2 second or so effective window, which is just not great for attacking ground targets. And with this moderately effective thing, Wargaming might be trying to tell you something about how they expected this plane to be played and how they balanced it, so that's something to consider too. Overall, I think it's a good decision to call this a fighter, and I still like the medium fighter designation that I describe it as. That's something unofficial, I just made it myself. So now we'll get into a quick ground attack guide, but should only use if you have to, because it's just not great. Only use it if you need a supremacy reset or there's just nothing else nearby that you can hit. The modestly effective cannon will have trouble with the red armored targets, so try to choose yellow targets with no red boxes or maybe one box if you can. Avoid AA like the plague. You will just get wrecked by AA if you get anywhere near it. If you notice, I talked about before, I play with my mini-map sized up as fast as possible. You can change the size with your plus and minus keys. I like it big because it's easier to look at a glance, but also if you look on here, you'll notice some of these targets have dots on them. Those are the ones that have, let's see, there's another one here, that have AA that shoots back at you. So you can use that to help avoid the AA and just don't get near it. If there is AA nearby and you just don't have any other choices, you have to kill the AA first, because it's just going to destroy you, like we'll see here in a second. Use shallow level attacks like I'm using here. Avoid diving attacks. The increased speed from diving is just going to shorten that engagement window even more, and it gets, because of the short range of these guns, it gets very, very tempting to stick in that dive too long. There's a good chance of crashing. Also, in 1.5, there's now a dispersion penalty when firing downward, which makes these inaccurate cannons just even worse. And it's also historically accurate. I mean, you can see from this video here, which I'll link down in the description below, but that was apparently one of the ways in which they were historically utilized as well. So that's kind of neat. Be sure to use the throttle and flaps to slow yourself down whenever you can to try to maximize your time on target. And don't spray and pray. Attack precisely to conserve your gun heat. Use short click bursts and watch your tracers to see where they go. That way you can see if you need to fire again, even because these shells take a minute to get there. So that's it for now this time, guys. Thanks for watching and good hunting.